What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Screen Time Continuum. Tonight, we're doing a channel surfing episode where we don't review a movie, but we talk about the things that have been going on the internet in the past week or so. Boy, I feel like I fell asleep or something, guys. Did we miss anything?
I think so.
Ah, man. Well,
I think the zombie apocalypse happened and then ended and then started and then ended again.
Oh man, plenty
I
of
feel
things
like
have
Rip Van Winkle. What's going on?
plenty of things have passed. Just seems like none of them are really affecting us the way we were told they might.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate all of you out there. Hit that like button, hit that thumbs up button. Hoping you're having a wonderful evening or whenever you're checking us out. Always appreciated. I am with the gentleman as always. Keelan, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing fairly well compared to what I was told I would be doing today.
Oh, yeah, that's right. How are you supposed to be feeling today?
Outraged, depressed, left out, cheated.
Ouch.
I feel none of those things.
Oh.
But as I've said on this channel and in many discussions I've had throughout the last couple of eons, I don't really have dogs in fights because I'm not a dog trainer. You know, it's not my junk. So, yeah, feeling a lot better than people expect.
Well, that's great to hear, but also I'm a little bit concerned. I'll have Charlemagne and Joe Biden come talk to you about that. And we got Mike here. How you doing, bro?
Oh man, I'm terrified. I was afraid to go to sleep last night because I thought I would wake up in chains. Then I found out that no, but I found out that the great Cheetolini is gonna email me my chains and they're gonna shackle my bank account.
Oh, see. Well, no, I heard what he's really gonna do is send you gold chains, not chains. Yeah.
Oh, well, that might be a little different.
I think there was just a typo in the letter, so don't worry about it.
I'm down.
Yeah. Real gold.
You sent me some jewelry. I'm melting all that shit down.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you fellas.
Certainly, shoot.
When is the riot supposed to start? Because my schedule's a little booked right now, and I want to make sure I'm a part of it.
Well, I think you have to go to Chicago currently is the only one that I've seen popping off. Not necessarily a riot, but a protest. But, you know, you give those a few hours and then all of a sudden...
I meant for the Dodgers.
Oh, zing. You missed that one, bro. They set a freaking bus on fire.
They did. Man, listen. All of downtown was flooded. In case you missed it, which you probably did, especially because you don't work in that area. All of downtown was who ranged and who bunked, aka there was nowhere to drive and everything was just screwed.
Wait a minute, who drives in downtown? That's where you catch the bus or a cab.
You can catch a shiv too. What are you talking about?
For a couple of rocks.
Yeah, you gotta take your own private transportation downtown.
Look, I would. I avoid all the places where any of that can happen. Thank you, fellers, very much.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no. The Dodger celebration did happen. It wasn't much of a riot. It was actually a lot calmer than I thought it would have been. It was a lot calmer than I expected it to be, seeing as how 2020 they didn't get to have a parade. Also, while we're on the subject and as we're kind of getting into talking about the Dodgers and what they did and, you know, their accomplishments, I think it's interesting that they don't recognize the 2020 championship.
I didn't know about it.
Yeah. So I guess they
called it like they had like postponed it or something like that.
That's what I figured. Like they just postponed the celebration, but no. Yeah. What it seems is the same way, and this might be why for the NBA they're having such a they've always had like the bubble ring doesn't count for the Lakers, because apparently they're not really counting the 2020 for the Dodgers because it was in the dome.
Right, and it was all a simulation. It wasn't real.
Right. What that means, Mike, is they moved all of the venues for professional sporting to different locations, like the bubble, the dome. I forgot what they called it for the WNBA. And if you won a championship,
Oh, he's just messing with you, man.
I almost fell for it.
He'll have you talking for the next 5 hours just by asking, "What's that?"
Just by asking that, yeah, straight up.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
You know what I will say is that it was one of the most entertaining few games of baseball I've ever watched, and I used to go all the time when I was younger. But like the Dodgers never won when I was younger, so it wasn't that exciting. But yeah, this is a pretty, baseball has gotten pretty good, especially with the time limit stuff. So
what's the time limit?
So now they actually have like a certain amount of time that they can take per inning.
Games.
Yeah. And so innings go a lot quicker now.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can have a baseball game done in like 3 hours now instead of 7.
Yeah.
Wow.
It seems like a lot of teams have changed their gaming and their strategy to kind of get out of those time restraints. But yeah, most games, like you remember being a kid and a game would start at 2 p.m. and end at 11.
Oh yeah, all the time.
That's not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that. I haven't paid attention to any sports really in a long time.
Yeah.
I just gave up on football a few years ago.
Oh yeah, I mean you can only sit there at Dodger Stadium. You need so many Dodger dogs and spend $20 for a beer before you're like, all right, I got to get out of here.
It's $18. Don't over.
Could you imagine?
Oh, sorry.
Could you imagine the stress on the sewer system under Dodger Stadium? Every game.
I wonder where that runoff is going.
No.
Look,
they call it Silver Lake.
Oh, shit. We are here today, folks.
Right. God dang. Oh man, that's got to be awful with all that processed meat and beer. Woo.
Oof. Did you watch any of the games, Mike, or no?
I did not. I didn't even know it was season.
Okay. Yeah.
I just saw one meme. Grand slam. Dodgers hit a grand slam. I was like, cool. When was the last time you seen one of those?
Walk-off grand slam to win the game. Yeah. Which is in the World Series.
If you watch the rest of them, though, there was, I think, 2 more grand slams through the whole series. But they were just wild games. Like some, maybe only one other grand slam. I tried to look it up and I couldn't find it. So it could only been the one. But the point I'm making is a lot of it was so exciting, like to the point of which kind of what Nick's saying. I can't remember a more exciting game over the last like decade minimum a decade.
I wasn't even aware of game anything, and I just heard the grand slam, and then I was like, the next thing I heard was the Dodgers won the World Series, and I was like, oh, cool.
Come on, you didn't hear all those random ass fireworks just popping up? That's crazy.
I was out of town, I think.
No.
You sure?
Positive.
Pretty sure I was out of town.
Not for the whole week.
Left on, what was it, Wednesday?
You weren't gone the whole time.
Okay, my bad.
But the World Series was very consistent and consecutive. They had a game every single night, back to back. I knew the games were abnormally interesting two ways. There were 2 separate games where fans had kind of got involved in the gameplay, which is like that never happens.
Wait, how does that happen?
So in the Dodger Stadium, a ball was hit right at the wall, and the fans kind of smacked the I think they smacked the glove down or they smacked the ball down, but they interfered with the play.
Wow.
And that guy was immediately removed from the game.
Absolutely.
But in New York, they not only grabbed the glove and the hand of the player, they pried the ball out of his hands, and as far as we know, were not removed from the game.
No, I think they were banned from all MLB games.
So they were allowed to finish that game, but they can never return.
Yeah, they can never return.
How do they enforce that?
I'll take what the Dodgers get.
I don't know.
Photo
put
ID,
on the disguise.
Yeah, I don't know how, but yeah. And I know people who actually know a person who's been banned from a sporting venue. And they still go to sporting events, just not at that particular venue. So I'm not sure how that works.
Didn't one of the streamers get banned from a basketball thing forever?
Gideon, from the WNBA.
Why is that?
Because he slept. So You almost fell for it, Nick.
I
So
almost
he
did.
got banned because, and here's the thing, I think it was a fake or it was just weird the way they did it. They invited him to the game for marketing purposes because he's a big time streamer, right? He comes to the game and he does his streamer thing. He pulls his antics. He has a blanket and he, mind you, he has 3 or 4 seats apparently because he's laid across 3 or 4 seats,
Right.
acting like he's asleep. And they felt that was offensive and had him removed from the game. And
That's pretty funny.
banned him. It was pretty funny. It was not only funny, before Caitlin Clark got to the NBA, it was probably one of their biggest advertising moments.
Oh, that's the WNBA. There you go. Okay, my bad. Now I know what you're talking about.
You reach in there.
Oh man.
Am I?
No. And I have to be honest.
That's all I hear about now.
Oh, that's true, huh?
The great hope. If you smell what I'm
great
cooking.
white hope.
Hey, I didn't say it.
You inferred it.
But hey, you can't get in trouble for the inference.
Yeah, I know. I got bad news though, fellas.
Uh-oh.
StreamYard is not letting me share screen on stuff right now.
Oh no.
I don't know what the hell is going on.
It's racism.
I mean, I would be tending to believe that, to be honest.
You being the minority in the show
That's
are
true.
being oppressed.
They don't like me. Yeah. So I hear
You're being
over and
oppressed.
over and over again.
How dare they?
Yeah, so I don't know how we're going to be able to share anything if I can't get this share screen option going.
Man,
that's kind of a bummer, but we can just go through the topics and talk about them.
Well, we could talk about the most unfortunate of all of them.
Well, before we get to the meat and potatoes of the conversation, I think.
Okay.
I did want to. Did you guys see that D Wade statue that they did?
The who?
The Dwayne Wade statue.
Oh,
I did see the Thanos Wade statue.
What was that? Like, who okayed that?
Clearly not him.
Clearly not him, or anybody who's ever looked at him
or met him.
Or met him. What the hell, man?
Did you see the look on his face?
Yes. His face said it all, man. He's like, man, are you serious?
What was that other statue that came out recently that everybody was like, what the F?
Allen
it was a Ronaldo. Ronaldo, too. The Ronaldo one where his face is all squished in.
Put it this way. Ever since Kobe's statue, which was probably the last statue that was done well, aside from this typographical errors,
right,
they have not been able to get statues right. And I'm wondering, because they said they were working on a D Wade statue for a minute, and I'm like, where?
Right.
What was that civil rights statue that they did that was inappropriate?
That was terrible. Yeah, there was a few of them.
I remember one of them looked like genitals.
Yes. One of them was like a sphincter. Yeah.
Oh, the one that was supposed to be like a slave memorial or something?
Yeah, where it was supposed to be one hand holding the other, or like one arm holding the other in a circle, but it ended up looking like a sphincter. Yeah.
Yeah, that looked, oh God. I don't know who saw that before they put it out.
This brings up a question. This brings up a question I have for you guys, because once I saw those statues, I'm like, is sculpting like a dead art?
Yes.
Perhaps.
I mean, like, I guess it is, right? Because why can't people sculpt
at least
anymore?
In America.
In America, yes.
To be fair, for me, I have absolutely zero understanding of art and artistic, viewing. I've been to the LACMA.
Andy Warhol's Campbell soup.
I understand that it's a picture of soup cans. I get that, but
I think honestly that people who are uninformed about art are the most honest about it, because I think to inform yourself about art makes you a snob. Yes, that pretends that there's something deeper than what there actually is. So
it's a.
And see, I thought maybe I was just too lowbrow to get it.
No, I think the layman's eye about art is usually the right interpretation of it. That's why you could go look at stuff in like museums that are painted hundreds of years ago and realize it, and know that they're beautiful. You know what I mean? You don't need to know anything about it. You just know it's beautiful.
Starry Night is beautiful.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I think in today's world, the one art and comedy form, aside from dancing is probably the last one that's left and unscathed.
You mean twerking?
No, I said dancing, not twerking. I'm talking about real ballet. I'm talking about when you go out to
interpretive dance.
Interpretive dance, thank you.
So strippers.
No.
I
see what you did there though. But no, I'm serious though. Like, cause I'm not talking about break dancing either, because that was ruined. Like, this year.
No,
that literally was ruined.
You can like it all you want to. I'm still standing on my point. My point is, art is one of the strongest.
Dancing guide.
But dancing in itself, like actual dancing, even when you look at like Dancing with the Stars, people are still doing old school technical dancing.
You mean ballroom dancing?
All of it.
Okay.
Yes.
Just anything that has the terminology or the essence of what dance is, along with comedy, which has been scrutinized over the last few years, and they've tried their best to destroy it. There's something to be said about two things. One, dancing for Lord knows how many hours until you get the steps right, so much so that you're not even listening to the music anymore. You're just counting your steps and knowing that the beat and everything else is going perfectly, especially if you have a partner. And or being able to get people to laugh at something that politically and socially we no longer are able to indulge in a daily conversation.
You mean like crump dancing?
Yes,
there you
like
go. I like crump dancing, and
I don't.
You know, I really like is like the guys that really know how to isolate when they do pop lock.
You mean like breakdancing?
Well, yeah, I mean it is breakdancing, yes, but like there's videos of those guys that just like can manipulate almost every inch of their body while they're locking.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
that
about.
Stuff is so crazy, man. It's so insane. I can't imagine like having that much control over the like the tiniest parts of your body to make it look like you're moving in like a staccato.
Yeah, I saw this is really gorgeous light skinned chick with an afro. She has like a blonde afro and green eyes that does that. I think she does it with her boyfriend or her partner or something like that.
Yeah.
They're really talented. I don't know if you guys seen those videos. I don't know what it's called, what they're called. I can't think of the name of it.
It's all right. I just focus on the fact that you had to mention she was beautiful.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, to your point, Keelan, I think that there's something probably there's an honesty in those types of art. I think in dancing, it's very obvious when you're not good at it,
right?
And there's no lying behind that. And just like being a comedian, there's no lying about being good at comedy. Either people laugh or they don't.
Right.
And sometimes you get something to back you, and you might end up in a movie, and people go, "Oh, he's a good one. He's funny." No.
Like you could give me ballroom dance lessons and I still have 2 left feet. I'm still going to be not nearly as good as somebody who is good at dancing.
Look,
you know what I mean?
I took a samba class probably now about 12 years ago, which is insane to say. Ask me to do the samba. Ask me.
Yeah.
Do the samba.
The moment I think about like what your feet need to be doing, then I start tripping over myself. So
I just tripped in my mind.
If I don't think about it, I was somewhere and I wasn't thinking about it, and somebody was doing a move, and I'm like literally replicating off to the side, like, oh shit, I do remember how to do this.
Yeah.
And then somebody's like, oh, did you want to do?
My cousin can samba.
No.
I've seen him do it.
I was not afraid. I was scared to embarrass myself. And you know who I was going to embarrass myself in front of? Myself.
You got to look at yourself in the mirror.
Man.
You know, that's real.
Yeah. So I think, but yeah, to the art discussion, art isn't appreciated anymore either, even when it's good comedy or good dancing, or even a properly placed paintbrush and the strokes that go into that. Like I noticed when I started as amateur as I could, just started painting for fun, just to have something to do in my spare time other than stare at a screen. I started noticing when I would go and see some of these art pieces, like, oh wow, I could see the brush strokes, or I could see this, or I could see that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it also makes you put into theory, into thought. The reason that a lot of art is so expensive and all of that is simply because somebody else said, I appreciate the amount of effort you put into your work. That's it.
Yes. Yeah. It's
Is
very
that what it
highly
boils down to?
subjective
Mhm.
most of the time.
I never
I
thought of it
think
that way.
I truly think that there are probably pieces out there. I don't know how many of them, but I'm sure they're the ones that we all sort of think of. And maybe it's just because it's been the passage of time that's done this. But I think that there are priceless pieces of art for sure.
They
So you
exist, yes.
probably couldn't put a price on it at all.
Probably 3 of them are Banksy's, though.
maybe at the beginning, Banksy kind of fell off. So I don't know.
No, I agree. But the reason I use him
Yeah.
is because a lot of his artwork was not only destroyed by the governments and the powers that be, but
Really?
some of his work, some of his work was also like when he had like those timed exhibits. So it's like if you mess with it in any way, it would destroy itself.
Right. Yeah. He opened up like a Disneyland at one point. And it was all creepy and dystopian.
Banksyland.
Yeah, I think he called
Wasn't
it Dismal Land.
I think there was a Vice documentary on that.
There was a documentary on HBO. I think it's called Exit Through the Gift Shop. That was pretty good. That it supposedly was a documentary with Banksy in it, but who knows? I mean, that could just be nothing.
Did they figure out who he is yet?
No. Who knows if it's even real?
Could be AI.
He could be a federal plant or a federal agent that they put out there just to get your attention, and now they know everybody who's interested in the underworld of art.
Yeah, maybe. Well, the thing about
everybody a federal agent now.
Well, the thing about the Banksy art is it's all stencil stuff, so it's not like you can. It's not like what you said about brush strokes and stuff. Like you can identify an artist by their brush strokes. It's all stencil work, so you just have to have a stencil with a pithy sort of line about something, you know. And
you don't think he created his own stencils to go out and do these works quicker?
I'm sure he created his own stencils, but I'm saying is that you could just, if you're the one that's created the Banksy, if you say you were the first person to do the Banksy thing, people could just pick up after you after they figure out what your stencil art is like.
I see what you're saying.
Because the stencil art is all very similar. So, I mean, like it could have just been one person starting it and then multiple people picking up on it.
And doing one person getting all the credit for it. Or an idea getting all the credit for it.
An idea getting all the credit for it. Yeah.
Like Monica Lewinsky. Sorry, never mind. I'm sorry.
I could go for Monica.
Case in point, there's like this. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but off of PCH, if you're going towards Malibu, there's this like water tank on the side of a hill. That's like horizontal, and all Banksy did was write in spray paint. This kind of looks like an elephant.
But then people saw an elephant.
Well, and then people bought it for millions of dollars.
What? Really?
Yeah.
How can I manipulate the stupid rich?
Exactly. Whoever's doing it is very smart. Yeah.
All I gotta do is do something stupid and then say not Banksy.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. There you go. And then everybody's like, well, it has to be Banksy. He said it's not Banksy.
Right.
The first step I've learned, Mike, is don't create a commercial for it. Just meet somebody in one of those circles and tell them that it's worth $1 trillion, whether you're telling the truth or not. They're going to go back and tell their friends. They have nothing to talk about. They have no lives.
Yeah.
Now, where do I meet stupid rich people?
Man, I wish
Starbucks.
I knew. Yeah, actually, maybe somewhere.
Whole Foods.
It's possible. All right, let's move on then. Since we already talked about the D. Wade statue, I guess we could probably talk. Oh, did you guys know that there was a missile test over in your neck of the woods last night?
I did.
I didn't. What happened? What you mean?
I found out about it this morning. I'm sorry. I found out about it this morning. I can't say I knew about it last night.
So apparently the military in their infinite wisdom thought the night of the election would be a good night to do a hypersonic nuclear missile ballistic test.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea.
Man,
off of the coast of California.
Which I think is so crazy because what I realized is, had that shit gone wrong, they were just gonna blame it on somebody or something else.
Exactly.
You know who they was gonna blame it on.
Yeah,
He launching. He pressed the red button.
That's a fact.
He's not even in there yet.
He's not right. He ain't got no access. He kept the codes.
He kept the codes. That would have been great. Yeah. They don't change the codes every presidency. They keep the same ones. It's still 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4 pound. 1, 2, 3, 4
exclamation
point. I will say this.
I can see the outrage right now.
I'll say this. The last time that they said we had a missile test or something of that nature, if I remember correctly, was like, at least that went wrong, so to speak, according to them, was like the 40s. And for everybody who knows history about that area and that stuff and what happened, everything points at that was actually a shootout with an alien spacecraft.
What?
Oh yeah. The
1946 San Pedro.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the date was, but there have been military reports that their nuclear arsenal were activated and then deactivated randomly, and that there was one time where they saw a UFO near one of the missile bases, and it deactivated all of the missiles.
Right.
Yeah.
Does this ever happen in other countries with missiles?
That's a great question. The UFO phenomenon seems to be very US centric, or maybe even just North America centric, because I know it does happen in like Central America and South America as well.
The mountains in Canada.
Yeah.
What's crazy to me is it's only the Americas where it seems like there's something suspicious or something volatile going on with the visitors. If you go to UK, they're typically just talking about sightings and spacecraft flying around, never like an attack of any sort.
Right.
Unless you're watching the movie Signs, which is a different conversation.
I hate that movie so much.
I've never liked
amazing.
My wife watches that movie. My wife watches that movie, I think, at least once every 3 to 4 months.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Why?
It drives me, I don't know. It drives me crazy.
But then again, maybe it's like with me and Starship Troopers. If it's on, I have to watch it.
Maybe that's it. Yeah, she has.
I don't go seeking it.
First came out.
Man, that movie's amazing. I'm talking about Starship Troopers.
I know.
Oh yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't even think you're talking about the full movie. There's like, if we're being real, Starship Troopers, there's probably like 25 minutes of that movie that's really enjoyable, and the rest of it is just.
How dare you, sir? How dare
talk about it. We'll talk about it off air. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Not gonna bore these people with movies. That's not what they came here for.
I don't care why they came, as long as they came.
Pause. And yes.
Fair enough.
Don't make it weird.
Thinking of making things weird. Wait. Talk about making things weird, Nick.
I'm sorry.
Shouldn't we be putting our home where our mouth is? Is that what's going on?
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, no, see, that's the thing, is I was trying to see if the fucking screen share was gonna work, because I just got a little pop-up, but I guess it's still not working, which bums me out. Thanks, StreamYard. I'm so glad I'm paying $50 a month for your services.
How dare you, and they?
I know, man. But I wanted to share this with you guys. I don't know if you've seen it. You probably haven't, and I wish I could show it to you right now. That would have been great, because that's what this episode was supposed to be about. But there was a prank that these guys were doing to Kamala Harris voters, where they knocked on their door and brought like 10 Mexican dudes.
That shit was straight up a Stephen Colbert skit. I don't care what nobody says.
And they said, "Thank you so much for voting for Kamala Harris. Now here are your Mexican guys. They just need a place to stay for a few months."
And these people went from like super friendly to like, oh my god, yeah, yeah. Oh my god, what? And start creeping in, closing their doors and shit. It was
Yeah. Yeah.
Rummaging through the fridge.
hilarious.
All of
It's
them
like you could
turned.
just tell the truth. That's not what you meant with your vote, but you're too ashamed to say that.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, like it was just it was just entertaining, to be honest. It was kind of funny. People get freaked out, but you know what's funny is that actually did happen a couple years ago, right? When they sent the people over to Martha's Vineyard, which is one of
Oh
the
yeah,
richest neighborhoods in the
Martha's
U.S. and
Vineyard.
Said nope,
they
can't bring them here.
they were gone within I don't know what 3 or 4 hours.
No,
which is
no.
so interesting to me when you look back because now this is kind of a conflated statement, but it's still valid and true in the concept of what we're discussing. You can have people go to an area like Martha's Vineyard and get turned away, and nobody's going to say anything is wrong with that. But then you'll have a multi-millionaire that just so happens to be a superstar athlete. And when they say they don't want you to build affordable living homes next to their $30 million mansion, they're wrong. Insanity.
Wait, what? Whatever do you mean?
We covered that. You don't remember that when we covered that? Stephen Curry, Golden State Warrior point guard.
You mean the prince of the NBA? How dare he?
I don't even know how to respond to that.
Well, he's the darling, isn't he? Isn't he the NBA's
I
darling?
get what you're saying. Yeah.
Whereas LeBron James is the king.
I understand exactly what you're saying. Yeah, it does seem Steph is the guy. He and LeBron seem to be the two guys that never have and probably never will get in any serious trouble, especially legal trouble or even moral trouble throughout their career, which is a good thing. We need to see more of that out of our athletes.
Unless we're talking about a Diddy party.
I was just about to say that, man. Have you not seen that photo of LeBron in the maid's outfit, bro?
Oh yeah, I hate to be the guy that says this because I'm never the dispel any myths guy, but I'm pretty sure that was AI.
Okay,
Sure.
all right, that's fair. I never verified.
So the only reason I think it was AI, if I'm being totally clear, is as big as that guy is, I don't think they would have found a maid outfit to fit that man. I'm just.
Oh, I'm sorry. Have you not been in 2024 yet?
Oh God, no! They started doing that back in like 2017, sir.
That's not very body positive of you.
So my point is,
I apologize. I'm sorry.
While I think the AI thing is very possible, but yeah, not having a maid outfit in his size, I think is completely out of the question.
I mean,
I absolutely think they do.
You trying to validate it? I said believe, but you won't.
Yeah.
No, I'm just making sure everybody understands that it is absolutely possible and not necessarily shenanigans.
It's absolutely possible.
Shenanigans indeed.
Ask Oscar De La Hoya if it's possible.
Right.
Oh yeah, true.
I forgot all about that. You know, he defended that.
Yeah, on Club Shay Shay. He was like, "Come on, I guarantee if I ask, it's like 20 men in this room. If I ask, everybody's done that at least once." And the whole room got quiet.
Like, nah, bro.
Shannon was like, "I don't know about that, Oscar." It took a shot right behind it, like this nigga tripping.
Right? Like, nah, bro, you might be alone on that one.
Look, I think Shannon was like, "You might be able to whoop my ass, but I'm not agreeing with this."
I don't know, man. Shannon be a pretty big dude.
I'm gonna say size-wise, I think Oscar might not be able to do what he think.
I'm gonna say this: little dudes with hands can do what they do, but if he grab a hold of you, it might be over.
I don't think he'll be fast enough to grab a hold. I think Oscar.
Now that's a different question.
Yeah, he gonna put 3 on his chin before he even open his arms.
Right? No, I absolutely agree with that. Just like Floyd Mayweather, he might put tips on you. If you get a hold of him, can he handle that part?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Because if I'm as somebody who will grab you and smash you into the ground, it's different from me trying to stand up and go toe to toe.
You know what? With you saying that, I do want to throw something else out there that we didn't predispose into this episode. But while we're talking about violence,
fancy words.
Yeah. While we're talking about violence, what do you guys think of boxers trying to do MMA and or MMA guys trying to box? Like, how does that?
Bad idea.
For whom?
Boxers cannot. I don't think a boxer is going to translate into MMA as easily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they
I think
normally
MMA
don't.
guys can translate into boxing a lot easier.
Yeah, definitely
yeah.
that.
I think yes. I agree with that statement, but I think it's very dangerous for either.
Oh yeah.
For a boxer getting into that octagon, listen, you might be able to play with that stand-up game. You might even be able to block a few kicks. You might even be able to take a few kicks. If you hit that mat, there is no referee to stop them from jumping on top of you and pounding your life out.
Well, we already saw an example of that. What?
Pause. Yeah, well, of course, because MMA is the ground game more than it is a boxing match. It's
Right.
it's about
We saw
it's
that
about getting
already with
somebody on the ground.
It's more technical than people give it credit for.
We saw that with Conor McGregor and what's his face.
No, we didn't. They never went to the ground.
Conor thought he was going to box that dude.
Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they never went to the ground. Oh
right.
no, but that's
because it was a boxing match.
Right, that's the adverse side of what I was going to say is these MMA guys come over to boxing. You have so much talent in all of these different arenas, and you can mix it in. And you can use this stance with these hands at the same time, which is really good, and also is really talented. Like I don't think UFC guys get mixed martial artists in general get enough credit for their level of skill.
Yeah, but once you've integrated being able to utilize so many more tools in your repertoire, it's really hard to go back to just throwing punches.
Just doing one thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're looking, you see all these other openings that you can't use. And the moment you blink and think like, damn, I can't kick him I can't leg kick him right now. You got a fucking coming straight for you, and you didn't even see it coming because your brain was somewhere else. And if it's one thing we all know, I don't know if I would assume that all of us have been in some situation, whether it be training or whatever, where we didn't see it coming, and then we woke up like, what happened?
I ain't never been there.
Oh yeah.
No, he's too good.
He's too good.
He's too good.
He avoids it. For me, it happened with training, and they told me ahead of time. They said, you might get knocked out, right? And I was like, I mean, I might get knocked out, but I also might not get knocked out. And about 5 minutes later, I was on the floor.
Yeah, I ain't never been in the training, so, and I ain't never got into a fight where I got knocked out, so I can't relate. I'm not boasting. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I didn't know how to tap. I'm just gonna say that. And
if you get wrapped up, that's over. It's over. Yeah.
Like you panic once, you don't even think to tap. You just wake up. Like, what happened?
Yep, definitely.
But in my credit to the boxers though, because I don't think people who aren't professional boxers are aware of how absolutely deadly it can be to take a full punch with a grown man or maybe even a grown woman putting their full body weight and strength behind it. Yeah, they might kill you.
Yeah.
You might be unalive. Sorry.
Yeah, there's also something to be said about the heavy gloves that boxers use that can tend to be a little bit more dangerous for them when they get hit because you're not afraid of breaking your hand on somebody when you hit somebody with those gloves. Yeah, so in MMA, they have to be careful about what they do with their hands, because if they use the smaller gloves and it's like, okay, but like if you get a good hit on somebody's forehead or their knee or their elbow, that's going to break your hand.
Yeah. And you know what? You're right, Nick, because it is a 16 ounce versus like 4 to 6 ounce difference. Like that is
yes.
Well, I mean, Anderson Silva wrapped his leg around another guy's leg. I mean, literally wrapped it around.
I know.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what's crazy is both of their legs were broken by the end of that fight.
What? See, I only know that the one dude's his toes was touching his knees.
Yeah.
His own knees.
Yeah. Anderson Silva did shatter his leg, but apparently. Anyway.
We're getting off the rails here a little bit, but I think we should probably get to the main story of the night, which is obviously Peanut the squirrel. So,
that was the saddest thing I seen.
That was pretty nuts, huh?
It was nuts.
Keelan has no empathy for this. He's like, I don't know what you guys are so upset about.
I know. You guys call my comments off air.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, there was a very famous TikTok squirrel that had around, 700,000 followers or something like that. They lived in New York. It was this guy, his wife, and their squirrel. And he used that squirrel to become wealthy and then used that wealth to create a animal sanctuary in upstate New York somewhere, where he filmed videos of rescues and all of that stuff. But apparently somebody ratted on him to the state of New York.
Hey-o.
And oh yeah, that was a pun.
Second one.
Yeah, apparently he got ratted out on, and the state of New York decided to come in with 4 agencies and raid his house, so that they could confiscate Peanut the squirrel and Frank the raccoon, and subsequently euthanize them because apparently they alleged that one of the agents was bitten in the confiscation of the animal.
Well, isn't it possible, without even making a joke, isn't it quite possible that a stranger grabbing somebody else's pet or wild animal is likely to get bit?
Yep.
It's absolutely likely to get bitten. And I think that's why it's a convenient excuse, because they probably just maliciously killed the animal and said, well, it bit somebody, so we had to check it for rabies. Yeah, this set the internet on fire on Monday, I believe. Was it Monday or Wednesday? Or was it Sunday? Might have been Sunday.
I think it was Sunday. I have a question for you, Nick, because you know more about the story than me.
Yes.
Exactly, or approximately, how much did it cost for them to commit this atrocity?
Well, Mike, I'm glad you asked, because that is something that is very important for everybody to know. It was around $6 million for this whole procedure to take place. So the state of New York spent $6 million to confiscate a squirrel and a raccoon from a man who was running a shelter.
Wait a damn minute.
Yeah.
Where the hell did New York get $6 million when they got rats and transients and all of these illegal migrant folks running through the city causing all these where they get $6 million from?
I heard New York.
Well, it's that one that was a slush fund specially allocated to terrorizing the citizens, not fixing problems. Okay, so give them a little bit slack.
Take that?
Yeah. Well, this ended.
Where they got the money from?
It might be. Oh yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah, there you go. This sent the internet up into a blaze of fury. Everybody was pretty pissed off about this. And really, it's not necessarily 100% about the squirrel, even though the squirrel was innocent. It wasn't rabid. It's exactly. It's about the government spending their time prioritizing terrorizing normal people who could have just been sent a letter saying that you need to register your squirrel with this agency and everything would have been fine. Instead, they decide to spend this much money on basically breaking into somebody's house and stealing their stuff and ransacking their whole home.
I have a question.
Showing the community of New York how much control they really have over their own lives, essentially. That's how I look at it.
Was this a preemptive strike by the Democrats to take people's joy?
Well, there is a parallel here with Harambe. If you guys remember. Yeah. In 2016, Harambe was murdered because some kid fell in his enclosure and Harambe was sort of being protective over the kid. And they decided to yes.
That kid did not fall in unwittingly. That kid was playing on the damn rail.
Oh, right. That's right. Yes.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
What are you implying, sir?
A tiny little, what was that, like a 5-year-old?
Yes, it was a young kid. So obviously, it's a dangerous situation to be around a gorilla, but they could have just tranquilized the gorilla. Now, maybe they think, okay, well, the tranquilizer wouldn't have been quick enough and he could have hurt the kid in the meantime. Fair enough. But they decided to kill Harambe. And all I'm saying is that after they killed Harambe, Trump got put into office. So
I have a question.
This is
what color was Harambe?
He was a gorilla, so the color of a gorilla.
Are you sure it wasn't some other ulterior motive, like a milky colored baby versus
okay. So that's the narrative.
It was a black child, wasn't it?
I thought it was. Yeah.
I thought it was a little black kid.
Did he? Yeah. Did the gorilla put his hands up?
Son of a bitch. No, he charged right at the kid. Sorry.
And I saw him.
Did
So
he
I
have
actually
a
saw the
gun?
video. He did kind of ragdoll the kid a little bit, but
No,
you
he
know,
did.
Ooh.
I get it. I get it. But the
the
meme, the
kid. I think the
meme
kid
of
had a
it
broken
all.
arm. Yeah, but if we're being
Oh,
honest, a gorilla is all muscle. It's about 400 pounds, maybe
Yeah,
nine.
it's
that's
not going
all?
to
You
be
sure?
gentle.
Look, you see, I said maybe 9
Oh, okay.
of solid muscle. And my thing is, yeah, they might have thought that if they tranquilized them, he might have hurt the kid. But you do realize that if you don't shoot something in the exact right spot, there's a
You
high
piss it off.
probability.
Oh yeah,
Not just that, there's a high probability that the body tenses up.
right.
So they
Squashes
still could
his,
have crushed the
shatters
kid.
his arm or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was a shitty situation. Honestly, the gorilla didn't do anything wrong. He was just sort of living his
being a
life
gorilla.
and being a gorilla. Yeah. And so, Peanut the squirrel has sort of become Harambe 2.0.
What
Um,
about Fred?
well, Fred, I
What
feel so
about him?
bad for Fred because Fred
He
gets
is the
overlooked
forgotten.
in all of this.
Yeah, Fred is ultra forgotten. He's a raccoon.
But he
I
was
wonder why he got overlooked.
It's the
he
black
was
eyes.
he was so
Hmm.
cute though, honestly. That was
Is
a
it because he
cute
wore a mask?
raccoon.
So what
It's
what
he's
you're
a
saying
little
is
bandit.
They took out Coon and Friends.
They did.
I was trying to make the jokes.
Yeah.
I was trying to get us there.
I know. But everybody was super pissed off about this, and the meme circulating over the last few days is that Peanut would get its revenge. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but did you guys see what happened right before Kamala gave her concession speech?
Oh, she finally conceded?
She did. She conceded
Oh, okay.
today.
This morning.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And she was graceful about it, so I'm not going to rip her on it. But did you see what happened
because I don't know
before?
how normal it is to wait till the next day. I don't mean to cut you off, and I apologize for that. But I'm
No,
not
that's
sure how
okay.
normal it is to wait until the next morning. I thought usually the concession speech came the same night.
Well, if you recall, in 2016, Hillary didn't concede the same day either. So it's they
There seems
they
to be a
don't do
thing.
they don't do. But the thing is that they don't do the concessions the night of anymore because they have this wonky voting system that they're still counting ballots long after everything is closed up.
Okay.
So you don't want to
So
concede too early, just in case in the middle of the night a pipe breaks and then 2 truckful of votes ballots get wheeled into the counting office.
Or you mean when those ballot boxes accidentally get set on fire?
Man, that was messed up. You guys saw that too?
Yeah, man.
And they said there were incendiary devices used on that. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, could be flares.
Molotov.
Or a Molotov. Yeah.
I thought that was nuts. I'm like, wait, what?
I was waiting for the shenanigans. Like, here we go.
Me too, man. And some of it did still happen, but not as much as they could. But again, right before Kamala's concession speech, they're filming it right on the stage. What jumps onto the stage and walks around?
Squirrel.
A fucking squirrel, man.
Shit.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude. That's how I wish I could share my screen with you guys. I have the video. Oh my God, this sucks so bad. But anyways, go check it out. You'll find it. A squirrel walks around all over her stage. And I'm thinking to myself, Peanut. Yeah, of course. The ghost of Peanut walks onto the stage. And I think to myself, God has the best sense of humor ever. Honestly.
I'm looking at it right now.
Like the best sense of humor.
Squirrel too.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I think that was God's way of saying that Peanut got his justice.
He was like, kill me, huh? Take this. You lose. Oh, mama love.
Well, speaking of the loss, did you guys expect that last night?
I did.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. All right.
I was not quite sure which way it was going to go, but I was prepared to find out which side was going to do what the other side thought was going to happen. After a certain point, like once we got started, I was like, oh, okay, honestly, from my experience, it seems like the Republicans kind of always start out in the beginning. So I was like,
Yes.
okay, so give it about 2 more hours. They're going to say that they're neck and neck, but then neck and neck is going to somehow be that either he is down by like 40, 50 points or she's down by 40, 50 points. And that's
Right.
exactly what it was. Oh, they're neck and neck. She needs 44. And I started doing the math. Like, wait, 132, 216. That's more than 44. You know what?
The math wasn't mathing on a lot of networks that were more liberal.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I really did notice that too because like I had a family watching here and they were watching and they were flipping through different channels and stuff, and I was noticing that the numbers were different on each channel.
Mm-hmm.
That's because certain perspectives chose to give hope where there was very little hope to be actually had.
Honestly, I think you're 100% right about that because we were watching certain channels and it was like they kept harping about this idea that it was so close and that everything was going in a certain direction, and then we would see a different channel and it's like, oh no, that's none of that's apparently happening.
Kind of like when it was Hillary, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, of course.
Not to be funny.
No, I know. And I think that there's like a flaw in this sort of sensationalism about polls and exit polls and all of that stuff. It's kind of like it's the political Super Bowl. So you're sort of on the edge of your seat looking at numbers that could either be real or bullshit, and you won't know for another 6 hours. I think that's a little bit hard for me to deal with. So I opted out of not watching and just sort of got the recap after everything was done. But yeah, interesting. It was wild. I was not expecting it to end so quickly and resoundingly at the end of last night. I thought we were going to be I thought it was going to still go on until this weekend, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I really did.
The discussion isn't even happening anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of expected him to win, but I also have a more sinister feel coming next because of what happened to him the last couple of months.
You and me both, bro.
That's the way I've been looking at it. Like, yeah, he gonna win it, but at what cost? Because after he win it, we already know they done primed up enough nut jobs out here. And when I say primed up, I mean they've wound the other lunatics up.
Yeah,
people are absolutely tight.
And they are convinced that this dude is some kind of fascist, narcissist dictator who is going to kill millions of people with absolutely no evidence to the case. But they've convinced people of this. And people feel like if they don't act on it, then they're on the wrong side of history. But
yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
I know way too much and I've read too much about history to where I hear people say things and I go, well, that comparison doesn't. I'd rather not say online.
No. I'm just saying. I'm agreeing with you. It's like based on what?
Oh, yeah. My response to them, right? Because it's like I know where some of these like historical people. I'm not gonna say historical figures because that would insinuate you kind of look up to them, right? But just historical figures, historical people. People might say Hitler or Mussolini or something like that, and it's like, what do you really know about these causes that you're?
They know absolutely nothing except for what the TV tells them.
They know is that people die because of them, and they don't really know what they did, how they did it, or anything even close to it. They don't even know any of the run up. Like even if you want to say he's like Hitler, he's not doing what Hitler did.
No, they don't even know the formal definition of fascism, which I would appreciate if they were gonna use that term, they use it correctly and talk about what it actually is. Which, if they want to claim that there's an element of fascism in America, I'm willing to listen if you know how to define it. And it's not a guy that talks, tweets mean tweets on the internet. Sorry, that's not what that is.
I mean, one of the main things that he did leading up to him doing the things that he did was he took away all the weaponry from the people, the average citizens. Who's doing that right now or trying to do that?
Oh, yeah. Well, of course. Yeah.
Things that make you say,
Yeah. It's the iron law of projection. It's like you always accuse your enemy of what you're doing.
That's called Marxism right there. That's
Yeah,
a principal tenet.
I know.
No. I'm saying you don't. I was just pointing that out for the other folks. That is a principal tenet of Marxism, is to accuse the other side of doing what you are in fact doing to cover up what you are doing.
Yeah,
sounds like flopping.
But the great thing about it all now is that it's over, and we are no longer going to be burdened by what has been.
Man, we can have some joy. We can spread joy. You know what's funny is that there's a couple things I heard about this so far, and so I just wanted to share these with you and get your guys' takes. One is that there is. Okay, I don't know how I want to start this. Do I want to start with the funny dunking one or the more hopeful one?
Ooh, I think I want funny.
Funny dunking. Okay, so funny dunking is that now there's a movement among women who are very upset about the outcome of this election to withhold sex for 4 years.
Wait.
Hold on. I got to get this out. And the irony of all that is that now everybody is dunking on them, saying, "So do you mean to tell me that all we needed to do to get you from having abortions was to have Trump in office?"
Right. All we have to do is stop y'all from being promiscuous and screwing anything on the street and that you meet in a bar. It's like,
wait a minute. Who was banging these blue-haired big bags?
Nobody.
I mean, they swear they were getting blown out, but they weren't.
That's the thing, Mike. That's the comment I was going to make at first. That was my original comment until Nick needed to finish his statement. I'm glad he did. But
okay,
that was my original statement. Who's sleeping with these women?
These
a lot of them.
And you know what? No, I'm not going to say that. But
be careful.
Nobody's touching them. Nobody's touching them. And I hate to make it seem like there's not a possibility. There's a possibility, but every time a man gets close enough to touch them, the moment they feel their breath, they scream rape.
Yeah, nobody wants to deal with those septum wearing psychos anyways, honestly.
Blue hair septum psychos.
Right.
Big
and
bats.
I do want to say negative and terrible things happen to people in the world. I'm not discrediting that.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
What I am discrediting is that these people think that they can just go around and tell us that somebody was trying to sleep with them or somebody had a desire for them because they didn't get their way. And I'm supposed to believe all of a sudden they're desirable. Your own family doesn't even talk to you anymore because of your behavior.
Yeah, that's true. And, honestly, the idea that you're going to withhold your sexual activity for 4 years is laughable.
Because you couldn't do it when you couldn't do it when it was your option, but now that you think it's no longer your option, you think you can do it. Have you ever been on drugs, ma'am? Do you know what addiction is?
It's funny because it gets the same desired effect. Like if this movement actually just catches steam amongst women on the left, like it's effectively ending abortion.
That's the whole point.
Do you think Cardi B's gonna be crying tonight, or was crying last night?
She was not happy.
I think she got her paycheck, and then she had to jump online and say one or two more things.
Probably laughing all the way to the bank.
Right, and I think now she's sitting with her kids talking about, "Girl, I don't give a fuck."
Yeah, right. I mean, I hope that they paid her more than Beyonce, but I doubt it.
Honestly, I don't think any of them should get paid. But when you raise a couple of $100 million for campaigns, somebody getting paid.
What happens to that money once the campaign is over?
She gets to pocket it.
I don't think that's how that works.
Well, actually, no. You know what I heard though? So Kamala spent $1 billion.
Jesus Christ, what?
$1 billion, and guess what? She's actually 20 million in debt.
Wow.
Yeah.
How does that work?
When you get all those celebrity endorsements, you're spending lots of money, man. She gave Beyonce $10 million.
What?
For a 3-minute speech.
Hey, shit.
$10 million.
Hey, I'm
parlaying. I can't wait to see if she go to jail.
Nah. I'm parlaying with the wrong side. I need a check. Fuck what you talking about right now.
Hey, man, I understand, but I ain't willing to sell my soul.
God, these stupid things called principles. Can we just get rid of those?
My soul will still be intact all the way to the bank.
Well, see, as much as I understand the sentiment, I don't think you're allowed to keep your soul if you're in bed with that particular group.
No, I get what you're laying down.
What you're saying.
Yeah, man.
Beyonce got that 10 million. There's probably a lot of people got paid pretty well for the whole
know
thing.
Meg Thee Stallion got paid now.
I was just thinking that.
I know
To turn
Glorilla
into
probably
a-
got like
she
Glorilla probably
turned
took
off.
like $250,000 and just got out of there.
I wonder what she get. How much she got paid to turn the DNC into a Magic City?
No. I want to know how much Sexy Red got paid since she flip flopped.
Ooh.
No.
I
Jokes aside,
understand though.
she flip flopped. So I
Yeah,
want to know how much
I
they
know
paid her
she
to
did
flip
because
flop.
she was stumping for Trump for like 2 years, and then all of a sudden, I'm endorsing Kamala.
I could
Like,
be
what?
wrong. I could be wrong. Are there any men other than John Legend that are celebrities that were endorsing Kamala?
There were a few
Jay-Z don't count because he's
weak
married to
wristed.
Beyonce.
Yeah, there was a few weak wristed ones like Steve Harvey, Tavis Smiley, or what? Wait, what's his name?
When you say weak wristed, I really thought you was about to name like RuPaul or something like that. You just out here throwing shots. Got it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, there is that one linebacker dude, Saucy.
Ooh, Saucy.
Yeah,
Nice.
that big old linebacker that be wearing women's clothes.
Hey, nigga, excuse me. I'm so sorry. That man is a notable thug and gang member. I'm not calling that man nothing out of his name. His name is Saucy. That's it.
Oh, I'm not saying anything
I'm not
either.
about to, because I'm gonna tell you straight up. I done seen. There's video of that man fighting. I don't think I could handle. I don't think I could.
You don't take a nickname like that without being able to hurt some people. That's for sure.
Okay, look, I'm gonna say his whole name just so you understand, Nick. Just in case you don't know exactly who he talking about, the man's name is Saucy Santana. So you named yourself Saucy, and you named yourself after either a lead guitarist or a real big drug kingpin.
Wait, what?
No.
Yeah, man. Well,
no.
Via con Dios is what I say. And
yes, Mike, I just made up that last part just because it's
yeah. But you asked the question, so I'm just giving the answers.
You right.
With D.L. Hughley. What was it? Ricky Smiley. That's his name.
Do you think she paid to get on those podcasts then?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. And you understand why she didn't
got about $100K.
Yeah.
You understand why she refused to do Rogan, right?
Oh yeah, well yeah, he said it publicly, basically.
He had questions.
Well, of course he had questions.
She didn't say she wouldn't do it, but they put all these stipulations that made it damn near impossible.
Yeah, well, she wanted Joe Rogan to fly over to her, and they were only going to do 45 minutes, and it was going to be surrounded by her staff.
Which is about what they gave Shannon Sharp, so I understand, but
yeah, but that's not the Joe Rogan experience.
Exactly.
Right.
That's the problem.
That's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
But if you guys remember my critique off air, at least in the tech in the chat, was the same thing when it came to Shannon. Like Shannon usually has 3-hour interviews, 2.5-hour interviews. So to pull it all the way down to 40, well, it was like an hour, but that was including commercials. It's
a lot of commercials.
Right. And we
Too
don't
many
have to
commercials
talk about the
now.
line of We don't have to talk about the line of questioning on either of whether it was Trump and JRE or Kamala over in Shay Shay. The line of questioning goes without saying that they wanted to get to know these people, not as politicians. That was the goal.
Fail.
I think they both failed in that regard, if I'm being totally honest. But
I think Trump's appearance on Theo Vaughn and Flagrant was the most humanizing. Yeah, the most humanizing podcast he had, for sure.
Yeah, I accidentally stumbled on him on the Flagrant, and the reason I stumbled on that is because everybody was trying to cancel Schultz, and I'm like, every week they're trying to cancel Andrew Schultz. What'd he do this week?
Yeah. Right.
Well, controversial.
Usually it's not controversial. It's just not right. It's just not what people want to hear.
Well, what I mean is he's not going along with the status quo.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially the New York status quo, and he's a New Yorker, so
right.
People feel pissed that he's
Louis C.K. followed the status quo until he couldn't anymore. So we see how far that gets you.
Well, Andrew Schultz lost a venue that he was supposed to record at because
we talked about it on the last show.
We talked about it.
Oh, right,
we talked about it on the last show. Yeah. Yeah, I think that the podcast definitely helped Trump in the whole thing. I think that his JRE wasn't that spectacular. It's not anything I haven't heard from him before, but I will tell you one thing. I think JD Vance's JRE was way better.
Yeah, I still haven't finished
I
that.
didn't watch that
The
yet.
parts I heard were pretty
It's
good.
it's good. It's good. I mean, like, he's a very normal guy. He's not extreme
position.
in any way.
You mean because he was about the boys in the hood reference? Was that part of that?
Aside from
I
that,
saw he caught a lot of shit for that.
yeah,
apparently, because
that's
when white people
aren't gonna go listen to what they say, what he said.
Exactly. Yeah. He was just sympathizing with the whole idea of it. And, again, he wrote a whole book about how his family is basically poor rednecks from Appalachia. And, his mother was an opioid addict.
What?
So
think he's relatable?
Yeah, exactly. So he knew, he was just trying to relate it to his experience as a young person growing up in a really impoverished area, and everybody dumped on him for it.
Right, sounds like he grew up somewhere where Furious Styles' whole discussion about gentrification actually meant something.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that that's the point that he was trying to make, but everybody just wanted to dunk on him for stupid points, I guess. But I think he made a pretty heartfelt statement to the American people in that podcast by sort of like trying to say he wanted to do stuff for everybody. He wasn't trying to.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to tell me that J.D. Vance is not related to the Queen of England?
I don't know. I'm not sure of. He could be. I wouldn't put it past any of them, to be honest.
You know about that, right? You know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't.
What? You didn't know that almost every single president we've ever had is a distant relative of the Queen of England?
Yeah, I have heard this theory.
Yeah. It's not even a theory.
It's like you do the bloodline and it's like 5 people and they all come from them in some way.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know what his lineage is, but I will say that people just need to be very careful about right now. I think there's a victory lap that's taking place that I think is, semi-deserved. The way that his supporters have been treated in the past, I think is pretty crappy. And I think that they should take their victory lap, but also keep your head on a swivel, because just because somebody is popular doesn't mean that they won't do shit that's awful.
Oh, for sure.
And I think it'd be in everybody's best interest if we all keep an eye open. That being said, I'm pretty interested in seeing what RFK Jr. might do, and they're in talks with having Ron Paul join in some capacity.
I have a question, and it's not that I couldn't find out, but I figured this is probably the best place to kind of ask. Maybe you guys know. Is what happened to RFK's voice? Is that like something he was born with?
I think it's like some disease. No, it's like some he had either had like a botched surgery, or it's like some sort of disease that makes his vocal cords seize up. So he's not able to talk without that problem. I forget what it was.
Does he use a larynx box?
No, he doesn't. It's just that his vocal cords don't have the same flexibility as other people's, and range. Gotcha. It could be. I don't know what it was actually, to be honest, but it is a little bit. It's hard to listen to. He
sounds like what I think that Bernie Sanders should sound like.
I feel like I need to clear my throat when I listen to him, but that's okay.
Right.
Some people just have that naturally going for them. I mean, Joe Biden sound like that for the last 10 years.
Well, I was going to make that joke, but I thought that was low hanging fruit.
Yeah. Let's let him have a nap. He's deserved it.
It's after 4:00.
He's asleep. He's in Betty by time. But
just out of curiosity, who's been the president for the last few months?
Man, I wish I could tell you. I don't think there is one right now.
We know the answer to that.
No, we don't. Well, you don't think it was Kamala, do you?
I do think that the vice president was there. The problem is she was campaigning, so nobody was actually doing the job.
Wait a minute. You can't put that on her, because she clearly stated that she wasn't there for that.
Wasn't there for what?
For any of those Major decision. Oh wait, she was.
Yeah, she explicitly said that she was the last person in the room.
Right. Holy smokes.
Hey, Mike.
So
I
that
just gotta
means
let
that
you
every
know.
major decision she was a part of, huh?
Hey, Mike. I just gotta let you know. Your sarcasm is not lost on me, sir.
Okay, I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Well, we want to wrap this up with a couple of positive notes. I know, some of you out there might be feeling bummed out about the election results. I will just say, hey, Mike will say, ha ha, and I'll just say, hey, take a deep breath and maybe try to look at this without the lens of fear porn rhetoric that the mainstream media spouts, because I think that a lot of people are in a whipped up frenzy over something that doesn't need to be as dire as they think it is. So, just a couple examples of that I wanted to end with, just to leave some people maybe with some hope. Then again, I don't know where your guys, your listeners' priorities lie, but I just came across a thread that apparently China has put out a statement saying that they are looking forward to having a peaceful coexistence with America. Like literally, Xi just came out and had a speech where he says he looks forward to having a peaceful coexistence with America, and then it gets better. It gets better. Putin just came out and said he's ready to end the war in Ukraine. It gets better. It gets better, guys.
What?
Hamas just came out and said that they are ready to strike a deal with Israel and end the war.
No shit.
I swear to you. Yeah,
All of
I'm
these
serious.
things, I've seen the headlines too. Yeah.
Oh,
It started with the China thing, and it's like all the headlines were kind of bulking together, and I was just like, this can't be real.
This can't be real,
and then the Houthis in Yemen just said that they're done. That they're done pirating the Strait of Aden, so that the exporting is all good now. They're not going to be doing that anymore.
You gotta be kidding me.
I swear to you, man. They've all made public statements today.
Wait a minute.
Not even 24 hours later.
Wait. So have we heard from Kim Jong-un yet?
He's good. Him and Don have a relationship already. They probably already talking on the phone. He'll be fine.
Great friend. I wouldn't say we're friends, but we have an understanding.
Yeah, exactly. So basically,
you mean we're
all
about
of
to
the
see
wars.
world peace?
Basically, all of the wars just got solved within the last 24 hours because of what happened.
Wait a minute. Why is that not news?
It should be news, but Orange Man bad, and a lot of the people who claim to be on the left and on the side of peace and goodness will not accept a W from Trump, even if it means the lives of millions of people.
Wait a minute.
You gotta remember.
As soon as this is over, I'm hitting up my liberal friends, and we got to talk. They got to tell me the truth.
You gotta remember, Mike. The discussion was, if he gets elected, we're going to war.
Right.
That's true. Yep.
Well, no, it was worse than that. It's World War III. We gonna have the nuclear holocaust. He gonna have the red button again.
Yep.
What? Are you kidding me?
All of them have just come out and said, "Hey, we're ready to work with you guys and have a great relationship."
You mean y'all want to be good now?
Yeah, all of them do.
What the hell are we talking? Oh God!
I mean,
liberal friends got some splaining to do.
So there are two explanations for this. I think the most logical one is that they're all aware that Trump will do things that will fuck them over, and they saw the last administration as a weak one that they could just run roughshod over.
Well, everybody.
Everybody did. And now that, Trump is back, they're probably looking to hedge their bets a bit and sort of make nice so that they don't get fucked over in the long run.
Oh, man, he got to stop doing public speeches without having being encased. And he's going to have to get one of them Pope bubbles.
He's going to have to be bubble boy for the rest of his life.
Well, at least for the next 4 years, for sure.
At least. Yeah, exactly. And, two is if you want to go into the deep conspiracy tinfoil hat take. My deep conspiracy. Okay, so here's my deep conspiracy tinfoil hat take.
Dale Gribble Army.
None of those wars were actually there at all. They were just
AI
a front. It was just a front to stoke fear and to launder money.
What?
So now that they've laundered billions and billions of dollars through Ukraine and Israel, now they've made their money, they can go away and be happy and not have to worry about it. That could have been their severance package.
What? Wait. Did we hear from you said we heard from Hamas, but did we officially hear from Iran yet?
Iran is apparently having a hard time right now because they're seeing all of the other BRICS nations basically not acquiesce, but pass an olive branch to America.
What?
So their support might be drying up as well.
What?
Yeah.
So peace in our time? What
I mean, it's possible. Maybe. Who knows? Yeah. Well, speaking of Iron Man, great segue. Thank you. The last bit of information that I just heard before we got on the live stream.
Okay.
Trump announced that for the 250-year birthday of America, which is in 2026, he wants to bring back the World's Fair. So there's going to be a year-long World's Fair around the country.
What does that even mean exactly?
So the World's Fair was like a tradition back in, like the early 1900s, where they would show off.
I remember Men in Black.
Yeah, they would show off new technologies or, like the innovations of the future, and everybody from the country would come
the Tesla coil.
Yeah, like exactly, like the Tesla coil. So now he's announcing that they're going to have a giant World's Fair celebration for the entire year of 2026.
How dare he make America seem exceptional again?
Yeah.
How dare he create world peace? Damn it, I won't stand for it.
How dare he try to inspire?
Sit down for it, though.
How dare you try to inspire people through World's Fair and stuff like that? If that happens, I'm going. I mean, like it hasn't happened in 100 years or something like that. So
yeah,
maybe not 100 years, but it's been at least 70 years or so since the last one. So I
think the last one was like 1913 or some shit.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So
has it been that long?
Yeah, if it happens in 2026, I'm definitely going to go check it out because that'll be great.
Where do you think he would do it? Would it be in California?
No, no way. No, he's talking about doing it in Iowa in their state grounds because Iowa did the last World's Fair in America. So
what?
Yeah,
you better book your reservation now then.
Well, what's cool about it is that it's not just going to be in Iowa. Basically, everywhere in America is going to have World's Fair exhibits and stuff. So even if you don't make it to Iowa, there'll probably be something in California connected to the World's Fair.
You mean like with holograms and stuff?
Not with holograms, but actual installations and demonstrations and stuff. So it'll move around the country, different installations and stuff like that, but it'll be hubbed in Iowa, I think.
Just so you know, I'm intentionally being stupid.
I know, and it's not helping me because I don't have much further information. I just heard about the World's Fair, and that's something that I've always said. I'm like, why don't we do that anymore? And the fact
there's a lot of things we should. That's fantastic, though. I mean,
it really is because think about all the young people that it could inspire to become builders or technologists or inventors and stuff. Like that's really a great thing.
Do you really want to inspire kids to be Cheetos?
No, not Cheetos. I'm just saying that they might be inspired by the technology they see, or
which is kind of the whole point of it.
Yeah, or the music, or like it's just going to be one big exposition of the human capabilities and American ingenuity.
But see, my problem is this is all in direct contradiction to what I was told by Kamala Harris and all the lefties at CNN and all the MSNBC halls.
Do you honestly think she would ever come up with something like that? Bringing the World's Fair back?
If Trump told her about it first, yeah.
Maybe. Fair enough. Because
I mean, she was gonna get, man, can you imagine getting rid of the taxes on overtime? That's coming now. God.
I know. And tips.
Yeah. I don't care about that. I don't work on no damn tips. I got a real job.
A lot of people in America still work on tips. So
I got a real job. I don't work at no restaurant.
Also, he was looking at lowering the interest on credit cards too. So
what?
That's pretty good. I think that's a
what
good
is
thing.
all this economic growth we talking about here? I don't comprehend this because I was told World War III and oppression, and I was told shackles and slavery and waking up to slavery. And how is this even a thing? Are you sure?
What?
Does this apply to black people too?
Well, I hope so. That would be terrible if it didn't. But like I would have to say that the proof is going to be in the pudding with this one. So let's hope that these things happen. Politicians tend to overpromise. But hey, we get a handful of these things, and it makes people's lives better. I think it might be worth it.
Are we safe, Keelan?
I'm always safe, but
Hey,
are we on the right side of history?
Oh God,
that might be a different discussion. Yeah,
man. Look here, man. Look, all right. I gotta go to my professional voice. I'm not doing this with you for the rest of this episode. All right,
I'll behave. I'm sorry. I'll be good.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much all the news that we have right now. And I really do apologize to our listeners. I was going to have all the visual aids for this and the videos and stuff. I will make sure that does not happen again for these episodes. I know that the last channel surfing episode, I had a mic problem, and now I have a display problem. So I'm really screwing this up, and I'm very sorry, gentlemen, and I'm very sorry to the listeners. But I hope that the conversation was still engaging enough for everybody out there that you enjoyed, and maybe I'll cut up this into segments too, so that way we can get some more people on.
Maybe it's the Matrix.
I do want to, before we exit, because of the level and the temperature of all the things we're talking about, and some people are going to be a little agitated and screw them. But I do want to shed a little bit of humanity and morality back into the discussion, or at least end on that note. By bringing up a gentleman named Grigory Perelman.
I saw that. What was that? The mathematician. What was that all about?
Yes.
I looked that up like you had asked, but what was that all about?
So he solved one of those unsolvable problems in the world. What do they call those, Nick? Do you remember?
Theorems.
Theorems. Yeah, the Millennium Prize problems.
Right?
Wow.
So he solved one of them. I think it's problem like number 7 or something like that. And
I didn't know that was possible. I thought that was the whole point of those.
Well, he solved one. Oh, my bad. There's 7 altogether, but he solved one in 2003, and then he didn't take the
money.
No, he didn't turn down the money until 2010 is when he turned down the $1 million. But he didn't. Basically, he turned down $1 million in 2010 from the Clay Institute. Then he declined taking the prize, or the Fields Medal, which it was, in 2003, simply because his thing is, I'm a mathematician. I'm not a celebrity. I don't want to be a celebrity. I don't want to be rich. I go to work for a living. This is what I enjoy doing.
And if you see how that guy's dressed, I believe him.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to silly.
You know what the problem is? He's Russian.
That is true. Yeah. He's Russian, and he probably has like legit autism.
Right, but he's Russian, and he lives with his mom. I did read that much.
Yeah,
I was thinking the autism thing, Nick. That made sense to me. Like he's able to function within these parameters here, and he knows his limits, and he's not going to allow you guys to pull him outside of those limits just to make a spectacle of him.
Yeah, and I think the quote that I read when you sent that thing, it was like, if the proof is real, then that's all the prize I need, or something like that. So basically, if he solved it, that's all he cares about, and so that's a really good thing. He's
sounds like humility, I think, is the right word.
It could be. Yeah. It could be a dash of humility. Yeah.
That's like alien technology in today's climate.
You've just been sarcastically flabbergasted the whole episode,
this
man.
whole episode. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm a bad person.
I'm kidding with you. No, that's a really cool story, and I hope that he gets bought a beer once in a while when he's walking through town.
I would buy that man a beer.
There you go. Sure. Yeah.
And I'm sure he'd accept that, just not
if he comes across this, I'll buy you a beer, sir.
Yeah. Next time I'm in St. Petersburg, I'll buy you a beer.
Or if he comes to the States.
There you go. That'll probably be easier.
I think
maybe for the 2026 World's Fair, he'll come.
Well, I mean, he is the millionaire. I'm not, so he can afford it.
That's true.
Fair.
Yeah, World's Fair time. Maybe he'll show up for that.
Hopefully.
You know, there's an interesting connection there too. Apparently, you know, it's like because Nikola Tesla definitely did a lot of just displaying of his technologies at World's Fairs. And do you know who's the person that confiscated all of his patents and his research and inventions?
I know.
Do you? Do you?
Trump's grandfather.
Yeah, I think it was his uncle.
Or his uncle.
I think it was his uncle.
Like his uncle. You're right.
Yeah. Yep. So it's interesting that he's talking about opening up the World's Fair once again. Maybe he's going to bring out some of those confiscated Nikola Tesla technologies.
Some of Tesla's technology. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful. I've seen it.
Free energy technologies.
Maybe we'll see those water driving cars.
Oh, yeah. The hydrogen cars. Yeah, that would be cool.
Or maybe there just will be no more overpowered grids.
Maybe.
Or maybe. I mean, who's to say Elon isn't working on that stuff?
He's trying his hardest. It's just that the capabilities of the battery packs are still constrained by resources and practicality and all of that stuff.
Elon Musk still remains the only person on this planet that has found a way to stabilize the hydrogen battery and not make it a bomb.
The lithium, I think it's lithium that they're using, but yeah.
I thought it was hydrogen. Okay, my mistake.
I don't know. Don't quote me. Honestly, I have no idea. So I could be totally wrong on that. But you know, it's funny is somebody that I knew once worked for a car company, and they actually drove the prototype that car company had for the hydrogen car. And so he had a hydrogen car, and that was I think 10 to 12 years ago. So the technology. You might have met him. Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know, the technology has been there. It's the problem is that the infrastructure is not there. And I think the hydrogen thing isn't as lucrative as rare earth minerals like lithium and cobalt. So
right.
And oil.
And oil, of course, you know,
gasoline.
Because even the battery chargers run off of oil. So you know.
Right.
Don't tell them that. Shh.
Right. Yeah. When the Teslas are plugging themselves in, they're just plugging themselves into a diesel generator.
Hey, vegans, you're not really vegan. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know where that came from. I'm sorry.
I don't know either. We weren't talking about food.
Just got to take all the shots in one go. I'm sorry.
No, I know. I get you. Well, yeah, no, that's all to say that it's looking to be a very interesting next year or so. So stay tuned, and we'll be back to give you guys updates on a weekly basis about what's going on in the internet on channel surfing. We also will be doing our movie reviews as well. So stay on the lookout for them. We're not going to stop doing that. It's just that we're trying to evolve the content and do other stuff too to offer some variety so that we're not just constantly talking about movies that you might have not seen.
Right. And life's been life. And so that's been a whole thing.
Yes, indeed.
It has been. Yeah. It's been a very shifting year for all of us. So we've been trying to get back to homeostasis. Hopefully we'll have that within the new year. And we'll be doing things. And yes. What's up,
as a part of that, I do want to say that we do have some stuff coming up because there's going to be a whole MonsterVerse coming up from the Blood and Honey.
Ooh,
hell yeah!
I don't know if I was talking about it with Keelan. Nick. I don't know if you've seen it.
I saw you posted in the chat. I think.
Yeah, there's going to be a whole MonsterVerse, so I think we need to be on top of that one.
Oh, we're definitely going to review all of those.
Because I know Blood and Honey, Winnie the Pooh was absolutely terrible. But they made a sequel and they've already announced a third one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm excited. That sounds great.
And then they got Bambi and Pinocchio coming.
Yes. And I think they're doing
almost done.
I think they're doing a Steamboat Willie too.
Yeah, they are. It's already been done. I think
There you
I think
go.
it's either if it's not out, they're editing it.
Yep. Yeah.
So
So stay
I'm
tuned
there
for that,
for it.
everyone. Yeah. We're going to have a lot of terrible movies to review. So, thank you for tuning in with us. Thank you for checking back in with us. We really appreciate all of you out there. We would appreciate it very much if you left a thumbs up and a subscription, and even a comment if you feel so entitled or inclined to. Yeah. What are you looking forward to in the next year? Hopefully, there's some positivity out there. And, hey, everything's going to be okay, everyone. We're all going to be all right. So, maybe just relax a little bit.
I'm looking forward to the new Star Wars.
Oh yeah, man. More Star Wars. That's what we need.
Yeah, man. They got some baby Star Wars stuff coming out.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Some more exciting things for people to dunk on. I mean, to review and to enjoy.
Well, yeah.
Woo, Disney. Woo.
Woohoo, woohoo. There's my prediction for the next couple of years. I predicted dismantling of the Disney empire.
Amen. I mean,
yeah. I see a lot of their IPs going back to separate companies.
I hope so bad.
I think that's where it's going to land.
They've killed all the things that most of us love when it comes to movies and just media in general. They've completely just raped it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, raped it. I'm sorry, I used the wrong word. My bad.
Shame. That's my prediction. So we'll see if that comes true. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate all of you out there. We'll be back soon, probably on Sunday, probably for a movie review. And we probably won't let you know which one it is. So stay tuned Sunday. And for Screen Time Continuum, I am Nick.
I am Keelan.
And I'm Mike.
Good night. Guten Nighten.
Guten Nighten?
I'm going to go right now.
Let's go watch Hitman again.